beloved child, stop for a moment and listen to me before this day ends. You have carried enough noise for one day. You have answered questions, handled responsibilities, hidden your tiredness, and kept moving even when your heart wanted to sit down and breathe. People may have seen you functioning, but I saw what it cost you. I saw the thought you pushed away this morning. I saw the worry that returned when the room became quiet. I saw the part of you that wondered whether anyone truly understands how much you have been carrying. My beloved child, I understand. You are not invisible to me. You are not one face among many. You are known. You are seen. You are loved. Before you move into another hour, I want you to remember what fear has tried to make you forget. You were never meant to walk through life believing that every burden belongs on your shoulders. You were never created to survive only by forcing yourself forward. You were not formed to live as though one mistake, one closed door, or one difficult season could erase the purpose I placed within you. Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders rest. You do not need to solve everything while listening to my voice. There are questions you cannot answer tonight. There are situations you cannot repair by thinking about them one more time. There are people whose choices are outside your control. Release them for this moment. Let me hold what you cannot carry well. My beloved child, you may believe nothing is changing because the outside of your life still looks familiar. The same responsibilities are waiting. The same uncertainty remains. The answer you hoped for may still feel far away. But silence is not emptiness. A field can look still while roots are spreading beneath it. A dark room can seem unchanged until the smallest light is lit. A tired heart can begin healing before it knows how to describe what has shifted. This is what I am doing in you. I am not asking you to pretend that everything is easy. I know what has hurt. I know which disappointment you still replay. I know the prayer you stopped speaking aloud because you were afraid of hoping again. My beloved child, I have not forgotten that prayer. I have not ignored the tears connected to it. I have not mistaken your quietness for a lack of faith. Sometimes faith does not sound like a strong declaration. Sometimes it sounds like a tired whisper saying, I am still here. I heard that whisper. Think of Elijah beneath the tree, exhausted and afraid. I did not meet him first with a demand to become stronger. I gave him rest. I gave him food. I allowed his body and spirit to become quiet before I showed him the next step. My beloved child, I am not ashamed of your tiredness. You do not need to hide it from me. Come to me honestly. Tell me where you feel weak. Tell me what you are afraid may never change. Tell me what you have been pretending does not hurt. You will not frighten me with your honesty. You will not lose my love by admitting that you are struggling. I already know, and I am still near. Before today ends, I want you to stop measuring my presence by how peaceful your circumstances appear. A storm can be loud while I remain close. A door can stay closed while I continue guiding you. An answer can be delayed while I am protecting you from something you cannot yet see. Do not confuse waiting with abandonment. My beloved child, there were moments in your past when you thought you would not make it through. Yet here you are, not untouched, not unchanged, but still here. You have walked through nights that once seemed endless. You have survived conversations that broke your heart. You have continued after plans fell apart and people disappointed you. That strength did not come only from you. I was with you when you did not feel me. I was steady when your thoughts were not. I was holding the part of you that had no strength left to hold itself. You may ask why I allowed certain seasons to last so long. You may ask why healing has taken more time than you expected. My beloved child, I will not give you shallow answers. Some things happened because people had freedom and used it poorly. Some pain came from choices, including your own. Some seasons remain difficult because this world is not free from loss. But none of that places your life beyond redemption. I can work inside what was broken. I can teach wisdom through what disappointed you. I can restore courage where fear settled. I can bring beauty from places you believed were permanently ruined. Joseph could not understand the whole path while he was inside the pit, the prison, or the years of waiting. Meaning became clearer later. You may also be standing too close to your own story to see how the pieces will connect. So I am not asking you to understand everything tonight. I am asking you to stay close. Let today be enough. Let this breath be enough. Let one honest prayer be enough. You do not need to perform for me. You do not need to sound strong. You only need to turn your attention toward me. My beloved child, there is still purpose in your life. There is still light in you. There are people you have not yet encouraged, places you have not yet entered, and parts of your own heart you have not yet seen restored. Your story is not finished because this chapter is difficult. Your calling has not disappeared because you feel tired. Your value has not decreased because someone failed to recognize it. You do not have to enter tomorrow carrying every fear from today. Place each concern into my hands. I will meet you in the morning with the strength, mercy, and wisdom that the new day requires. Before this day ends, receive this truth. You are held, you are seen, you are loved. Let those words become quieter than a shout and stronger than fear. Carry them into the remaining hours of this day and stay near my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why the silence around you is not standing still and how the hidden work you cannot see is already beginning to transform you. My beloved child, the silence around you is not standing still. You may look at your life and see no visible movement. The answer has not arrived. The door has not opened. The change you prayed for may still seem hidden behind another ordinary day. But hidden does not mean absent. I am working in places your eyes cannot reach. Think of a seed beneath the soil. From above, the ground looks unchanged. No color appears. No branch rises. Yet beneath the surface, the seed is breaking open. Roots are reaching downward before anything rises upward. My beloved child, this is what I am doing in you. Before I reveal new fruit, I am strengthening what must hold it. Before I widen your influence, I am deepening your roots. Before I place greater responsibility in your hands, I am teaching your heart how to remain steady when applause is absent and answers are delayed. You have often asked me to change your circumstances quickly. I have been changing you deeply. You wanted the storm to stop. I began teaching you how to stand. You wanted every question answered. I began removing the fear that made uncertainty feel unbearable. You wanted a clear road. I began forming trust that could take the next step without seeing the whole distance. My beloved child, transformation rarely feels impressive while it is happening. It can feel slow, it can feel lonely, but every time you choose peace instead of panic, something changes. Every time you speak truth instead of hiding, something changes. Every time you stop chasing what is outside your control and return to my presence, something changes. These choices may look small, but they are rebuilding your inner life. A house does not become strong because the walls are beautiful. It becomes strong because the foundation can carry what is placed above it. I am working on your foundation. That is why some things have taken longer than you expected. You asked for new opportunities, deeper relationships, and peace. But I saw the fears and habits that could turn those gifts into another place of exhaustion. My beloved child, delay was not always denial. Sometimes it was mercy. I was giving you time to receive what you requested without losing yourself inside it. Consider David in the field before anyone called him to the palace. He spent long days caring for sheep while others saw nothing important in his routine. Yet those quiet fields were teaching him courage, patience, and responsibility. The hidden season prepared him for the visible one. In the same way, your ordinary days are not separate from your calling. The prayers no one hears are shaping your heart. The small responsibilities you honor are teaching you faithfulness. My beloved child, do not despise the quiet season. Noise can make you feel productive while leaving your soul unchanged. Silence removes distractions. It shows you what you truly believe when encouragement is not immediate. It reveals whether your faith depends on visible progress or whether it can rest in my character. I know silence can feel uncomfortable. When no answer comes, your mind begins creating its own explanations. You wonder whether I have forgotten you. You assume the lack of evidence means the lack of care. But my beloved child, your assumptions are not always the truth. Like a family waiting while a surgeon works beyond a closed door, you cannot watch every detail of what I am repairing, arranging, or preventing. You only know that time is passing. Trust me inside that uncertainty. I am not careless with your life. I am not distracted. I am not late because I lost sight of you. There are things I am removing from your heart that would have followed you into the next season. The need to prove your worth, the fear of disappointing everyone, the habit of carrying responsibilities that belong to other people, the belief that rest must be earned through exhaustion, the shame that tells you one mistake can cancel your future. My beloved child, these things do not leave through one emotional moment. They are released through repeated truth. You learn to say no without calling yourself selfish. You learn to receive help without feeling weak. You learn to let another person face the consequences of their choices. You learn to rest before your body forces you to stop. You learn that my love remains steady on the days when you achieve nothing impressive. This is transformation. It is not always a sudden feeling. Often it is a new response to an old situation. The same criticism comes, but it no longer controls your identity. The same uncertainty appears, but you do not immediately panic. The same memory returns, but you can look at it without becoming trapped inside it. The same door remains closed, but you continue living instead of waiting beside it. My beloved child, do you see what is happening? You are becoming freer. Not because every circumstance has changed, but because those circumstances no longer have the same authority over your heart. That freedom will matter in the season ahead. If I gave you every answer before this work was established, you might mistake relief for healing and return to old habits when pressure came back. I am teaching you to become like a tree whose roots have found water underground. Heat may come, wind may move the branches, people may see the leaves shaking and assume the tree is weak, but beneath the surface the roots remain connected to what keeps it alive. My beloved child, stay connected to me. Do not measure your growth only by how confident you feel. Measure it by where you turn when fear speaks. Measure it by whether you can remain honest when you feel ashamed. Measure it by whether you continue doing what is right when no one rewards you. Measure it by whether your heart returns to peace more quickly than before. The silence has not left you empty. It has been teaching you to hear more clearly. It has been separating your true needs from your anxious demands. It has been showing you which voices deserve your attention and which ones have kept you restless. My beloved child, I am transforming you deeply. One day you will notice that what once overwhelmed you no longer has the same power. You will enter a difficult room and carry calmness with you. You will face a delayed answer without believing you have been abandoned. You will recognize unhealthy patterns before they pull you back into them. You will be able to receive good things without fearing they will disappear immediately. This is the work happening now. Do not rush it. Do not dig up the seed to check whether it is growing. Keep watering your inner life with truth. Keep returning to prayer. Keep choosing the next faithful step. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why you have never been hidden from my sight, how I have watched over every tired step, and why I remain the shepherd who knows exactly when you need direction, protection, or rest. My beloved child, I have never lost sight of you. Not in the crowded days when everyone needed something from you. Not in the quiet nights when you felt forgotten. Not in the moments when you wandered from peace and wondered whether you had gone too far to be found. I am the shepherd who knows your name. I do not watch you from a distance. I walk near you. I notice when your steps slow. I notice when your heart becomes tired. I notice when you smile for others while carrying questions you cannot explain. My beloved child, you are not simply part of a crowd to me. You are known. I know the places where fear still enters. I know which memories make you tense. I know the conversations you replay and the words you wish you had spoken differently. I know what you need before you know how to ask. A good shepherd does not only count the flock, he studies each one. He notices which sheep is limping, which one is restless, which one has wandered toward danger, and which one is too tired to keep pace. That is how I care for you. Sometimes I lead you forward. Sometimes I make you pause. Sometimes I close a path because something ahead would wound you. Sometimes I allow a slower road because your heart needs more than a quick answer. My beloved child, guidance does not always feel like movement. There are times when I protect you by keeping you still. You may call it delay. You may call it silence. You may wonder why other people seem to move ahead while you remain in the same field. But a shepherd knows when the ground ahead is unsafe. He knows where the grass is thin, where the water is bitter, and where danger waits beyond what the sheep can see. I have seen what you could not see. There were doors you wanted that would have demanded more than they gave. There were relationships you tried to preserve that would have kept draining your peace. There were opportunities that looked impressive, but would have pulled you away from the person I was forming you to become. My beloved child, every closed path was not rejection. Some were rescue. You did not always understand my direction because you were looking only at what you wanted to reach. I was looking at what the road would do to your heart. This is why I ask you to trust my pace. A shepherd does not lead the flock by panic. He moves with purpose. He knows when to walk, when to stop, and when to carry the one who has no strength left. My beloved child, there have been times when I carried you, but I was beneath you in ways you could not feel. I carried you through mornings when getting out of bed felt heavier than you admitted. I carried you through losses that changed how you saw the future. I carried you through seasons when prayer felt difficult and hope felt quiet. You were not abandoned because you felt weak. Weakness did not make me step away. It made my care more necessary. Remember the shepherd who leaves the 99 to search for the one that wandered. The lost sheep was not punished before being lifted. It was found. It was carried. It was brought home. My beloved child, this is how my mercy works. When you drift, I call you back. When fear pulls you toward old patterns, I remind you of truth. When shame tells you to hide, I come near. I do not confuse your wandering with your identity. You may lose direction for a time, but you do not lose your place in my heart. Come back whenever you notice you have moved away from peace. Do not waste days punishing yourself before returning to me. You do not need to clean every wound before allowing me to touch it. The shepherd treats the injury because the sheep cannot heal itself by pretending nothing happened. My beloved child, let me care for the places you keep hiding. Tell me where you feel disappointed. Tell me where resentment has taken root. Tell me where you are afraid to trust again. Tell me where you feel ashamed of needing help. I already know. It opens your heart to receive what I have been offering. I also lead you toward rest. You have mistaken exhaustion for faithfulness too many times. You have believed that stopping would make you lazy, selfish, or weak. But the shepherd leads beside quiet waters because a frightened and exhausted heart cannot hear clearly. Rest is not a reward for finishing every task. Rest is part of how I restore you, my beloved child. I am not asking you to ignore your responsibilities. I am asking you to stop carrying them as though everything depends only on you. Do what belongs to today. Release what belongs to tomorrow. Ask for help when the load is too heavy. Let trusted people stand beside you. You were never meant to prove your strength by remaining alone. Sometimes my care reaches you through another person. A friend who listens, a family member who notices, a counselor who helps you name what has remained buried. A community that reminds you of truth when your own thoughts become loud. Receiving support does not mean your faith has failed. It means you are allowing the shepherd to use more than one path to bring you safely forward. My beloved child, I also protect you from voices that do not know where I am leading you. Some will call your quiet season a lack of progress. Do not let their impatience become your direction. A stranger does not know the whole journey of the flock. I do. I know the distance you have already traveled. I know how many times you kept walking while wounded. I know the courage it took to choose peace after years of living in tension. You are not behind. You are being led. And when the path becomes dark, stay close to my voice. You do not need to see the entire landscape. You only need enough light for the next step. My beloved child, I will not promise that every valley will be easy, but I will not leave you inside one. I will guide you through what must be faced. I will teach you what must be learned. I will strengthen you where fear once ruled. I will help you recognize the difference between danger and discomfort, between a closed door and a protected path, between loneliness and the quiet place where healing begins. You are still under my care. You have always been under my care. Even now, while you are listening, I am leading your heart toward a lighter place. Stay near, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why you no longer need to carry the weight of old mistakes, old guilt, and painful memories, and how placing the past into my hands will help you walk forward without dragging yesterday behind you. My beloved child, you no longer need to carry yesterday as though it still owns today. You have walked far enough with old guilt pressing against your chest. You have replayed conversations, decisions, and mistakes until they became heavier than the moment in which they first happened. My beloved child, I know every part of that story. I know where you were afraid. I know where you were wounded. I know where your choices caused pain. I am not asking you to pretend the past was harmless. Healing does not require denial. Some things need to be named honestly. Some apologies still need to be offered. But responsibility is not the same as endless punishment. You can admit what happened without building your home inside it. You can learn from a mistake without introducing yourself by it for the rest of your life. You can grieve the person you were without hating the person you are becoming. My beloved child, shame keeps pointing backward because it is afraid of what grace can build ahead. Shame says you failed, so failure is your identity. Truth says you failed, but failure does not have authority to name you. Shame says you should hide until you become worthy. I say, come into my light so healing can begin. Think of Peter after he denied knowing me. His fear spoke loudly in one painful night. He wept because he understood what he had done. Yet I did not leave him forever beside that failure. I met him again. I spoke to him. I restored his responsibility. His worst moment became part of his testimony, but it did not become the final sentence over his life. My beloved child, your past may explain some of your wounds, but it does not have permission to decide your ending. There are memories you have carried like a wet coat that never had time to dry. At first you wore it because the storm had just passed, but now the rain is over, and the coat is still making every step colder and heavier. Take it off, place it down. You do not honor the lesson by continuing to freeze. You honor the lesson by walking differently. Forgiveness does not mean calling wrong things right. It does not mean trusting someone who remains unsafe. It does not mean returning to every place that wounded you. Forgiveness releases your heart from the need to keep drinking the poison of the memory. Sometimes the person you need to forgive is another person. Sometimes it is yourself. You have shown compassion to people who hurt you while speaking to yourself with cruelty for smaller failures. You have understood their wounds, their history, and their fear, but you have refused to offer the same patience to your own heart. My beloved child, I want truth, not cruelty. Ask yourself what you believed when you made that choice. What were you afraid would happen if you said no? What did you think you had to prove? What pain were you trying to avoid? You cannot change the past by punishing yourself in the present. You can only allow the past to teach you how to choose with greater honesty now. Perhaps you stayed too long because you feared being alone. Perhaps you remained silent because you believed truth would cost you love. Perhaps you gave too much because being needed made you feel valuable. Perhaps you ignored your own limits because you thought exhaustion proved devotion. My beloved child, see these patterns clearly, but do not look at them with hatred. Bring them to me. Let me show you where fear entered. Let me teach you a different response. You are not being asked to become perfect overnight. You are being invited to stop repeating what you are now able to recognize. There may also be people who keep reminding you of the version of yourself you have already left behind. They may speak as though your worst season is the only truth about you. They may refuse to acknowledge your growth because your change challenges the story they prefer to tell. Do not hand them the authority to define you. Listen when correction is honest. Make amends where amends are possible, but do not remain chained to the judgment of people who benefit from keeping you ashamed. My beloved child, I know the difference between repentance and self-rejection. Repentance turns toward truth. Self-rejection turns against the person I am still restoring. One leads to life. The other keeps you trapped in a room whose door has already been opened. Walk out. You are allowed to become unfamiliar to people who knew you only through your wounds. You are allowed to outgrow habits that once helped you survive. You are allowed to change your mind after wisdom teaches you more. You are allowed to protect peace without apologizing for no longer accepting what once felt normal. My beloved child, there are also losses connected to your past that were not your fault. Some doors closed because another person chose differently. Some relationships ended despite your sincere effort. Some opportunities disappeared because circumstances changed beyond your control. Stop treating every ending as evidence that you failed. Sometimes your heart does not need another explanation. It needs permission to mourn what mattered and then continue living. I was with you in those endings. I saw what you gave. I saw where you tried. I saw the moment you realized you could not carry the relationship responsibility or dream alone. Releasing it was not always weakness. Sometimes releasing was the first honest act of faith. My beloved child, put the past into my hands now. Give me the mistake. Give me the regret. Give me the name that still tightens your chest. Give me the version of your life you thought should have happened. You do not need to throw these memories away. as though they meant nothing. Let me place them where they belong, behind you as wisdom, not around you as chains. Take another breath. Notice that you are still here. There is still life in front of you. There are still choices you can make with greater courage. There are still relationships that can be built with honesty. There are still mornings that will not feel like the ones you survived. My beloved child, what happened is part of your story, but it is not the whole story. You are more than the person who was hurt. You are more than the person who made mistakes. You are more than the season when everything seemed to fall apart. I am still riding with you. And before you take the next step, I want you to remember something important. This is not the first time the road has looked impossible. You have stood before closed doors, empty hands, and uncertain tomorrows before. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will help you remember every time I made a way when you could not see one, and how those moments can become evidence that you do not have to face the future as though you have never been carried before. My beloved child, remember every time I made a way when you could not see one. There were moments when the road in front of you looked closed. You had no clear answer, no strength, and no plan that felt large enough for the problem. Yet somehow you continued. A bill was paid after you had stopped knowing what to do. A conversation brought clarity when confusion had filled your mind. A person appeared with unexpected help. A door closed, and later you understood that it had been protecting you from something hidden from you. My beloved child, those moments were not meaningless. They were reminders. Not reminders that life will always become easy, but reminders that you have never had to walk through difficulty without my presence. You often remember fear more clearly than help. You remember the night you could not sleep. You remember the diagnosis, the loss, the rejection, the uncertainty, and the silence. But I want you to remember what happened after the fear entered. You kept breathing still. You kept taking the next step. You found strength that had not been available the day before. You discovered that the worst thought in your mind did not become the final truth. My beloved child, memory can either feed fear or strengthen faith. If you only remember the pain, tomorrow will always look dangerous. If you also remember the ways I sustained you, tomorrow becomes a place where trust grows. Think of the people of Israel standing before the sea. Behind them was danger. In front of them was water. There was no reasonable path forward. Then the way appeared where no road had existed. My beloved child, I do not always open a path as you expect. Sometimes I change the circumstance. Sometimes I change your understanding. Sometimes I send help. Sometimes I give you courage to walk through what cannot yet be removed. A way is not always an escape. Sometimes the way is strength for the journey. You prayed for the pressure to disappear, and I taught you how to remain calm inside it. You prayed for a person to change, and I taught you how to set a boundary. You prayed for the old door to reopen, and I led you toward a different path that protected your peace. You prayed for certainty, and I gave you enough light for one step. My beloved child, do not reject the answer because it arrived in a form you did not imagine. There were seasons when you thought provision would mean receiving more. Instead, provision came through needing less. You learned to simplify. You learned to ask for help. You learned to release responsibilities that were never yours. You learned that peace can return before every financial, relational, or practical problem is solved. That was also a way. I made room inside you where fear had occupied everything. I gave you the ability to think clearly. I helped you notice the people who were trustworthy. I showed you which habits were draining your strength. I reminded you that asking for support is not failure. My beloved child, you have been carried through more than you admit. There were days when you believed you were holding everything together alone. But look more carefully. Who gave you the courage to make the call? Who brought the right thought to your mind at the right moment? Who kept one small flame of hope alive when the rest of you felt exhausted? I was closer than you understood. I was not always loud. My help often arrived quietly. A sentence in scripture that met the exact question you were carrying. A friend who contacted you without knowing what you were facing. A delay that frustrated you at first, but later protected you from a harmful decision. A sudden calm despite the difficulty around you. My beloved child, these were not reasons to worship circumstances. They were reasons to remember my faithfulness. I want you to build a habit of remembrance, not to live in the past, but to keep fear from rewriting your history. When another challenge rises, pause before saying, I have never faced anything like this. You have faced uncertainty before. You have felt unprepared before. You have walked into days without knowing how they would end, and still you were given what you needed. Not always early, not always in the form you requested, but never beyond the reach of my care. My beloved child, write these moments into your heart. Remember the job that appeared after rejection. Remember the person who listened when you felt alone. Remember the strength that came after none remained. Remember the wisdom that grew from the mistake you wished had never happened. Remember the morning when the grief was still present, but it no longer controlled every breath. These are stones of remembrance. Joshua once told the people to carry stones from the river so future generations would ask what they meant. The stones became evidence that a difficult crossing had been completed. My beloved child, you also need reminders that you crossed. You are often so focused on the next problem that you forget the rivers already behind you. Look back with honesty. You were afraid, but you moved. You were tired, but you remained. You were wounded, but you learned. You were uncertain, but you were not abandoned. This does not mean future pain will be simple. It means future pain does not arrive without evidence of my past care. Let that evidence steady you. When fear says there will be no way, answer with remembrance. When shame says you will fail again, remember how wisdom has grown inside you. When discouragement says nothing is changing, remember the hidden seasons that eventually produced visible fruit. My beloved child, I am not asking you to become confident in your own control. I am teaching you confidence in my presence. You do not need to know how every need will be met. You need to know where to turn when the need becomes heavy. Bring it to me. Then take the practical step that truth places before you. Make the call. Ask for help. Rest if exhaustion is making you careless. Apologize if pride is blocking peace. Walk away if the path requires you to betray what you now know is right. Faith is not refusing action. Faith is acting without allowing fear to become your master. My beloved child, every way I made for you was not only for your comfort, it was also preparing you to become a way of encouragement for someone else. You know what it feels like to need hope. You know what it feels like to wonder whether help will come. You know how deeply one honest word can matter in a difficult hour. So do not keep every lesson closed inside your own story. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why what I have given you must begin flowing through you, how your healed places can become shelter for another person, and why blessing becomes more meaningful when it is carried with open hands. My beloved child, what I have poured into your life was never meant to stop with you. The comfort you received in a dark season can become comfort for someone else. The wisdom born from your mistakes can become direction for a person standing where you once stood. My beloved child, blessing is not only something you receive, it is also something you carry. A river remains alive because it keeps moving. Water that is trapped becomes still, but water that flows brings life wherever it goes. In the same way, the love, patience, mercy, and truth I have placed within you are meant to move outward. You do not need a large platform. You do not need perfect words. You do not need to wait until every wound is healed before you become useful. Sometimes what helps another person most is not a polished answer. It is an honest presence. It is the courage to say, I know what it feels like to be afraid, but I also know fear does not have to lead forever. My beloved child, your pain did not make you useless. When surrendered to me, it can become compassion. You know what it feels like to be overlooked. That is why you notice the person standing quietly at the edge of the room. You know what it feels like to carry a burden without knowing how to explain it. That is why you can listen without rushing someone. My beloved child, I am not asking you to rescue everyone. There is a difference between serving and carrying responsibilities that belong to another person. You can offer water without becoming the entire well. You can walk beside someone without taking over their journey. You can pray, encourage, give practical help, and still allow them to make their own choices. Love must flow through you, but it does not need to drain you. This is why wisdom matters. I fed the hungry crowd, but I also withdrew to quiet places. I welcomed people, but I did not answer every demand. I gave compassion freely, yet I remained guided by purpose instead of pressure. My beloved child, learn this rhythm. Give from connection with me, not from fear that people will reject you if you stop. Serve because love is alive in you, not because usefulness is the only way you feel valuable. Some of your greatest acts of service will look small, a meal brought to someone who is tired, a phone call made before loneliness becomes unbearable, a sincere apology that repairs what pride damaged, a child listened to without distraction, a stranger treated with dignity. Heaven still sees these moments. The world may celebrate what is visible, but I see quiet kindness that asks for no applause. My beloved child, generosity is more than money. You can be generous with patience. You can be generous with attention. You can be generous with encouragement, forgiveness, knowledge, time, and truth. But generosity must remain honest. Do not give what you do not have while pretending you are fine. Do not promise time you cannot offer. Do not say yes while resentment is growing inside you. A gift given from pressure often carries hidden pain. A gift given freely carries peace. My beloved child, ask me where your help is needed. Not every need is your assignment. Not every open hand is yours to fill. Sometimes I will lead you to give. Sometimes I will lead you to connect someone with better support. Sometimes I will ask you to remain quiet and pray. Sometimes your own body, home, or heart needs care before another burden. Listening protects your compassion from becoming exhaustion. Think of the Good Samaritan. He noticed the wounded man when others passed by. He came close. He treated the wounds. He used what he had. Then he brought the man to a place where continued care was possible. He did not pretend he alone could become everything the wounded man would need. His compassion was practical, generous, and wise. My beloved child, let your kindness carry that balance. Do not use service to avoid your own healing. It is possible to stay busy helping others because silence would force you to face your pain. You can become so focused on everyone else's needs that you never admit your own. I do not ask you to disappear inside service. You are also someone I care for. You are also allowed to receive. Let others bring you a meal. Let someone listen to your honest answer. Let trusted people pray for you. Let support move toward you without feeling you must repay it. A river receives before it gives. Rain falls, springs rise, then the water continues forward. My beloved child, you cannot keep pouring from a place that is never replenished. Return to me often. Rest. Read truth slowly. Sit in quietness. Laugh with people who make your heart feel safe. Care for your body. These are not interruptions to your purpose. They help you carry it without becoming bitter. What I give you must flow through you, but it must first be received deeply. You cannot offer peace you refuse to enter. You cannot teach grace while speaking to yourself with cruelty. You cannot encourage others to rest while treating your exhaustion as failure. Let the message become real in you. Then your life will speak before your mouth does. People will notice the way you respond differently under pressure. They will see that you can be firm without becoming harsh. They will see you apologize without losing dignity. They will see you remain kind without allowing manipulation. They will see that faith does not remove every struggle but changes how struggle is carried. My beloved child, your influence may reach farther than you know. One person may remember a sentence you forgot saying. A child may grow up remembering that you made them feel safe. A friend may choose to continue because you answered the phone. A person who received your forgiveness may become more willing to forgive elsewhere. This is how goodness multiplies. It moves quietly from one life into another. Do not underestimate what I can do through an ordinary act offered with sincerity. But do not seek recognition for every seed. Some fruit will grow where you never see it. Some people will never return to thank you. Some kindness will appear to vanish. Give what I ask you to give, then release the result. The outcome belongs to me. My beloved child, I am shaping you into someone whose healing becomes shelter, whose wisdom becomes guidance, and whose presence brings calm into places ruled by fear. This kind of life requires character strong enough to carry compassion without pride, generosity without control, and purpose without exhaustion. That strength is being formed in you now. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you how my hands have been shaping you through pressure and fire, why the seasons that seemed to break you were also refining you, and how the person emerging from them is being prepared to carry more than the person who first entered. My beloved child, my hands have been shaping you through the fire. You have looked at the pressure and wondered whether it meant something had gone wrong. You have watched plans change relationships, strained doors close, and familiar parts of your life fall away. At times it felt as though everything you trusted was being taken apart, but I was not destroying you. I was revealing what could not carry the weight of where I am leading you. Fire does not create the gold. It reveals what is already there and removes what does not belong. My beloved child, some seasons have felt hot because old fears were being exposed. You saw how quickly anxiety tried to control your choices. You noticed how much of your peace depended on approval. You discovered where pride kept you from asking for help and where shame kept you from telling the truth. These discoveries were painful, but they were not cruel. I brought them into the light because hidden patterns become heavy chains when they are never named. You prayed for strength. Strength often begins with honesty. You prayed for a new life. A new life requires you to release the habits that kept recreating the old one. You prayed for deeper faith. Faith becomes deeper when you learn to trust me, without needing every circumstance to confirm that trust immediately. My beloved child, I know there were moments when you thought the fire had lasted too long. You asked why one difficulty ended only for another to begin. You wondered why healing seemed to come in layers instead of all at once. Think of clay in the hands of a potter. The clay does not understand why pressure comes from one side and then another. It does not know why the wheel keeps turning or why a shape that looked nearly finished must sometimes be pressed down and formed again. But the potter sees the vessel that the clay cannot yet imagine. My beloved child, I see what you are becoming. I know where the walls of your heart were too thin to carry responsibility. I know where they had become too hard to receive love. I know where fear created cracks beneath a surface that looked strong. My hands have been working patiently. I have not rushed you. I have not thrown you away because one part needed to be reshaped. When you failed, I did not stop forming you. When you resisted, I did not lose patience. When you returned to an old pattern, I did not decide your future was finished. I continued teaching. I continued correcting. I continued calling you back to truth. My beloved child, refinement is not rejection. Correction is not abandonment. The discomfort of growth does not mean my love has changed. A loving hand can be gentle and still be firm. There were things you wanted to keep that would have kept you small. There were identities you wore because they once helped you survive. The strong one who never needed support, the quiet one who never caused trouble, the giver who never asked to receive, the peacemaker who accepted blame to keep everyone comfortable. My beloved child, those roles may have protected you for a season, but they were not the whole person I created. The fire has been separating your true identity from the masks you learned to wear. You are learning that strength can ask for help. Peace can speak honestly. Love can set boundaries. Humility can say, "This hurt me." Faith can admit, "I do not understand." These truths are making you more whole. Consider the 3 young men who stood before the furnace. The fire was real. The danger was real. Yet they were not alone inside it. What was meant to destroy them became the place where my presence was seen most clearly. My beloved child, I will not tell you that every fire was sent by me. Some suffering came from a broken world. Some came from harmful choices. Some came through the freedom of people who acted without love. But no fire is beyond my ability to meet you inside it. I can redeem what I did not approve. I can teach through what I did not celebrate. I can bring courage from loss without calling the loss good. I can make you wiser without asking you to be grateful for the wound itself. This is important. You do not need to romanticize pain in order to believe I am present. You can grieve honestly. You can name injustice. You can seek safety. You can ask trusted people for help. And while you do, I can still shape perseverance, discernment, compassion, and courage within you. My beloved child, you are not valuable because you suffered. You were valuable before the fire. The fire did not create your worth. It revealed strength you had not yet needed to use. It showed you that you could survive the loss of approval. It taught you that a closed door could not cancel your calling. It showed you that being misunderstood did not make you unknown to me. It taught you that your life could continue after the ending you once feared most. Look at yourself now. You may still feel tender. You may still have questions. But you are no longer responding exactly as you once did. You pause before panic becomes action. You notice when guilt is being used to control you. You recognize when your body needs rest. You understand that forgiveness and access are not the same. You are learning to leave what repeatedly steals peace. My beloved child, this is the shape emerging from the fire. Not someone hard, someone clear, not someone who feels nothing, someone who can feel deeply without being ruled by every emotion. Not someone who never falls, someone who knows where to turn after falling. This is the strength I have been forming. What once frightened you now becomes a place where wisdom speaks, and what once controlled you now teaches you to choose differently. You will need it not only for your own future, but for the people you will serve. They will not need a person who pretends never to have struggled. They will need someone whose compassion was tested and remained alive. They will need someone who can sit beside pain without offering shallow answers. They will need someone who knows that healing is often slow and that dignity must be protected while it happens. My beloved child, your refined places can become safe places for others. But before you move outward again, you must learn to hear me without the noise of pressure, performance, and fear. Fire has removed much of what kept you distracted. Now I want to teach you what comes after the heat. Quiet, rest, listening, a heart that no longer needs constant noise to feel secure. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will lead you back to the quiet place where you can hear my voice without forcing an answer, receive rest without guilt, and understand why stillness is not emptiness, but the place where direction becomes clear. My beloved child, come back to the quiet place and hear me. You have lived through enough noise. The opinions of people, the pressure to perform the questions that return at night, and the fear of making the wrong choice have filled your mind. Now be still right now. Do not force an answer from me. Do not repeat the same request until your heart becomes exhausted. You do not need to prove that your faith is strong by refusing to rest. My beloved child, I am already near. Quietness does not bring me closer as though I had been far away. It simply helps you notice the presence that noise kept covering. Take a slow breath. Let your hands relax. Let the thoughts pass without chasing every one of them. Some thoughts are only fear looking for attention. Some questions are not ready to be answered today. Some burdens were never meant to remain inside your mind. Bring them to me. The quiet place is where you stop pretending that you can carry everything alone. It is where you say honestly, I am tired. I am confused. I am afraid. I do not know what to do next. My beloved child, those words do not disappoint me. Honesty is not the opposite of faith. Honesty is often where faith begins. You cannot surrender what you refuse to name. You cannot receive peace while protecting the fear that has been controlling you. So speak plainly. Tell me about the conversation that still hurts. Tell me about the decision you are afraid to make. Tell me about the person you cannot change. Tell me about the future you keep trying to predict. Then stop. Listen. Not every answer comes as a sentence. Sometimes my answer is the strength to wait another day. Sometimes it is the wisdom to ask for help. Sometimes it is a boundary you finally have courage to set. Sometimes it is peace that lets you sleep before the problem is solved. My beloved child, do not reject quiet answers because they do not arrive with drama. I often guide through steady conviction rather than emotional urgency. Fear says, decide now or everything will be lost. Wisdom says, wait until truth becomes clear. Fear says, send another message. Peace says, let the other person reveal their own choice. Fear says, if you stop moving, you will fall behind. I say, rest long enough to remember where you are going. The quiet place teaches you the difference between my voice and the noise inside you. My voice may correct you, but it will not humiliate you. It may challenge you, but it will not drive you into panic. It may ask for courage, but it will not demand that you betray truth. My voice leads toward honesty, responsibility, compassion, and peace. The voice of fear usually demands control. The voice of shame tells you to hide. The voice of pride tells you that needing help makes you weak. The voice of comparison tells you that another person's progress proves your failure. My beloved child, listen carefully. You are not behind because another person reached something first. You are not forgotten because an answer is delayed. You are not weak because your body needs rest. You are not faithless because you have questions. I am not threatened by your questions. Bring them into the light. When Elijah stood on the mountain, the wind was strong, the earth shook, and fire passed before him. Yet my direction came in a gentle quietness. The loudest thing was not the clearest thing. My beloved child, remember this when the world becomes noisy. Urgency attracts attention, but truth often speaks softly. You may need to turn off the screen. You may need to step away from conversations that leave your spirit restless. You may need to stop asking too many people what you should do. Too many voices can make you forget the truth forming inside you. Choose trusted people. Choose those who respect your boundaries, tell you the truth, and do not use your uncertainty to control you. Then return to me. Quietness is not isolation. I do not ask you to disappear from healthy support. I ask you to stop using constant noise to avoid your own heart. There are feelings that become clearer when you are no longer distracting yourself. Grief may rise. Anger may surface. Tiredness may finally become impossible to ignore. Do not be afraid of what comes up. My beloved child, stillness does not create the wound. It reveals where care is needed. If your body has been carrying tension, let it soften. If your mind has been racing, write down what it is trying to hold. If tears come, let them come. You do not need to explain every tear. Sometimes your body releases what your words could not carry. I am with you there too. The quiet place is also where gratitude returns. When life feels heavy, your attention becomes fixed on what is missing. You stop noticing the small mercies that continue arriving. A meal, a safe room, a person who cares, a morning with strength to begin again. My beloved child, gratitude does not deny pain. It reminds pain that it is not the only truth. You can grieve and still notice goodness. You can be uncertain and still recognize provision. You can wait for one answer while thanking me for what is already present. This balance protects your heart from hopelessness. Return to the quiet place daily, not as a performance, not to earn my attention. Come because you need to remember what matters. Read a small portion of Scripture, slowly. Sit without rushing. Speak honestly. Listen without demanding. Let your breathing become steady. Let your thoughts settle. A few quiet minutes can interrupt a day ruled by fear. My beloved child, you need no perfect conditions. A quiet place could be found in a parked car beside a window during an early morning or in the few moments before sleep. The room does not matter. It is the willingness to turn toward me. As you practice stillness, direction will become clearer. Not every step at once. Usually only the next step. Make the call. Rest today. Tell the truth. Wait before answering. Ask for counsel. Release the argument. Begin the work. My beloved child, guidance often becomes simple when fear no longer adds 10 imagined problems to one real decision. I am teaching you to live from peace, not react from pressure. This quiet strength will matter in the battles ahead. There will still be difficult days. There will be voices that challenge what you know. There will still be moments when fear tries to return, but you will know where to go. You will know how to become still before reacting. You will know how to bring the battle to me instead of fighting it only inside your own mind. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why you are not fighting any battle alone, how my presence surrounds you when opposition rises, and how truth can protect your heart without turning you hard. My beloved child, you are not fighting this battle alone. The fear may feel personal. The pressure may sit heavily on your chest. The questions may follow you from morning into the night. But even when the struggle reaches places no one else can see, I am already there. I am not watching from a distance. I am standing with you inside it. My beloved child, some battles are visible, other battles are hidden. I see both kinds. I know what is happening around you, and I know what is happening within you. You do not need to explain every detail before I come near. I was near before you found the words. My beloved child, fighting alone has made you tired. You believed strength meant keeping everything private. You told yourself that no one would understand. You carried your questions in silence because you did not want to become a burden. But isolation can make fear sound larger than it is. A lie repeated in an empty room can begin to feel like truth. This is why I call you back into my presence. Bring the battle to me. Do not bring only the calm version of yourself. I am not asking for a performance. I am asking for honesty. My beloved child, truth is one of the ways I protect your heart. Fear often begins with a sentence that sounds convincing. You are alone. Nothing will change. You have failed too many times. No one can be trusted. You must solve this immediately. When those words rise, do not accept them without examination. Ask what is true. You may feel alone, but I am with you. The answer may be delayed, but delay is not proof of abandonment. You may have failed, but failure is not your identity. Someone may have betrayed you, but one person's choices do not define every future relationship. You may need to act, but panic is not the same as guidance. My beloved child, faith does not mean pretending the battle is small. It means refusing to let the battle become greater than the truth. David stood before Goliath and saw the size of the threat clearly. He did not deny the giant. He remembered who had carried him before. Past faithfulness gave him courage for the present moment. In the same way, remember what you have already survived. Remember the nights that ended. Remember the doors that opened after you thought every path was closed. Remember the strength that arrived when you had none left. You are not entering this battle without history. You carry evidence. My beloved child, you are also not required to fight every battle in the same way. Some battles require courage to speak. Some require wisdom to remain silent. Some require you to stay. Some require you to leave. Some require practical action. Some require rest before your thinking becomes clear. Do not let pride choose the strategy. Ask me what faithfulness looks like today. It may look like making the appointment. It may look like asking for advice. It may look like setting a boundary. It may look like admitting that you need help. It may look like refusing to return to an argument that has never produced truth. My beloved child, support is not evidence that you are weak. Moses grew tired while holding up his hands during battle. Aaron and Hur stood beside him and helped him remain steady. In the same way, let trusted people stand near you. Let someone pray with you. Let someone help with the practical burden. Let a counselor, doctor, pastor, friend, or family member offer wisdom where the struggle has become too heavy to carry alone. I can work through people. Do not reject my help because it arrives through human hands. My beloved child, protection does not always mean the absence of difficulty. Sometimes protection is clarity. You recognize the danger earlier. You notice the unhealthy pattern before it becomes stronger. You leave the room before anger turns into harm. You pause before sending words you will regret. You ask for help before exhaustion becomes collapse. These choices are not small. They are evidence that wisdom is growing. I am teaching you to protect your heart without becoming hard. There is a difference. A hard heart refuses to feel. A protected heart feels deeply but remains guided by truth. A hard heart assumes everyone will hurt it. A protected heart watches character and allows trust to grow slowly. A hard heart uses distance to punish. A protected heart uses boundaries to preserve peace. My beloved child, do not let what happened to you turn you into someone you do not recognize. You can become wiser without becoming cruel. You can become careful without becoming suspicious of every person. You can forgive without reopening unsafe access. You can love others while still telling the truth about what their choices have done. This is strength, not pretending nothing hurts, not allowing pain to choose who you become. The battle may also be within your own thoughts. When your mind begins preparing for the worst, return to the present. What is happening right now? What can you do today? What belongs to you and what belongs to me? My beloved child, you were never given tomorrow's strength in advance because you do not need to carry tomorrow today. Today has enough grace for today's step. Tomorrow will have what tomorrow requires. Do not exhaust yourself fighting events that have not happened. Breathe. Look around. Find the next honest action. Then stop where your responsibility ends. I will meet you there. My beloved child, there are battles you win by refusing to return to an old pattern. You win when you no longer answer manipulation with over-explaining. You win when you stop calling self-neglect love. You win when shame speaks and you choose truth. You win when fear says hide, but you reach toward healthy support. You win when disappointment comes and you do not abandon the good work growing in you. These victories may not receive applause. Heaven sees them. I see every moment when you choose a new response. I see the courage it takes to remain gentle after pain. I see the strength it takes to rest when your old habit says keep proving yourself. I see the discipline it takes to wait for clarity. My beloved child, the battle is not proof that you are forgotten. Sometimes resistance appears because you are no longer agreeing with what once controlled you. Old fears become louder when they realize you are learning to live without obeying them. Do not mistake their noise for authority. You do not need to defeat every thought by force. Let truth remain steady until the lie loses its place. You are held, you are guided, you are not alone. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why some of what you are facing still feels confusing, how standing too close to one painful moment can hide the larger picture, and why you do not need to understand the whole design before trusting me with the next step. My beloved child, you are standing too close to see the whole picture. Right now, one painful moment may be filling your entire view. A closed door, a delayed answer, a relationship that changed, or a plan that fell apart may seem large enough to define everything. But one moment is not the whole story. When you stand too close to a painting, you see only scattered colors. One dark line may look unnecessary. One rough mark may seem out of place. You cannot understand the image because your eyes are fixed on a single section. My beloved child, your life can feel the same way. You are looking at today. I am looking at the path behind you, the work within you, and the road still ahead. You see the part that hurts. I also see what that pain is revealing, what it is protecting you from, and what wisdom can grow through it. This does not mean I call every painful thing good. Some wounds came from choices people made without love. Some losses were not what I desired for you. Some disappointments were simply part of living in a world where people are free and life can be fragile. But nothing that touches your life is beyond my ability to redeem. My beloved child, redemption does not mean pretending the dark color was never there. It means the dark color will not control the entire picture. Joseph could not understand his life while he was inside the pit. He could not see the full design while he was serving in a strange house or waiting in prison after being forgotten. Each season looked separate. Later, he could see how one chapter had prepared him for the next. My beloved child, you may also be living inside a chapter whose meaning will become clearer only after time gives you distance. This is why I ask you not to make permanent conclusions from temporary pain. Do not say my life is ruined because one plan ended. Do not say I am forgotten because one answer is delayed. Do not say I will always be alone because one relationship failed. Do not say nothing is changing because growth is still beneath the surface. Fear speaks in final sentences. Wisdom leaves room for what has not yet been revealed. My beloved child, you do not need to know how every piece will connect before you take the next faithful step. A traveler walking at night does not need sunlight over the entire road. A small lamp can show enough ground for the next few steps. You have been asking me for the whole map. Often I give you enough light for today. Make the call. Finish the task in front of you. Rest if your body is exhausted. Tell the truth. Ask for help. Wait before making a decision driven by panic. My beloved child, small obedience is not meaningless because it feels ordinary. The larger picture is often built through choices no one celebrates. A kind response when anger would be easier. A boundary held when guilt becomes loud. A prayer whispered when confidence is weak. A responsibility completed when motivation is absent. These moments become part of the design. You may never understand every reason behind what happened. Faith is not a promise that every question will receive a complete explanation in this life. There are mysteries you may have to place into my hands without resolving them. My beloved child, trust does not require you to stop asking honest questions. It means you refuse to let unanswered questions convince you that I have stopped caring. You can say I do not understand and still remain near. You can grieve and still believe your story has purpose. You can feel disappointed and still choose the next right step. You can ask why without turning away from me. I am not afraid of your questions. Bring them. But do not demand that understanding arrive before peace is allowed to enter. Sometimes peace comes first. Understanding follows later. My beloved child, think about the back of a woven cloth. From that side, threads cross in confusing directions. Knots appear. Colors seem disconnected. Nothing looks finished. Turn the cloth over, and the pattern becomes visible. You are often looking at the unfinished side of your life. You see the knots. I see the pattern forming. You see delays. I see patience being strengthened. You see rejection. I may see protection, redirection, or the end of a path that could no longer carry peace. You see weakness. I see the place where you are learning to receive strength beyond your own. My beloved child, do not use this truth to ignore practical reality. If something is harmful, seek safety. If you need medical care, reach out. If a relationship requires honest boundaries, set them. If you made a mistake, take responsibility. Trusting the larger picture does not mean becoming passive. It means acting wisely without believing that everything depends on your control. Your part is faithfulness. My part is what you cannot manage. You cannot control another person's heart. You cannot force a door to open. You cannot guarantee the result of every effort. You cannot prevent every loss. But you can choose honesty. You can choose courage. You can choose patience. You can choose to remain teachable. My beloved child, these choices matter more than you know. There are pieces of your story that are still being formed through people you have not met, skills you have not learned, and decisions you have not yet faced. Do not judge the final design while those pieces are still arriving. Patience gives hidden meaning time to become visible. One day you may look back and realize that the delay gave you time to become ready. You may see that the closed door kept you from building your life in a place that could not support your growth. You may understand that the silence taught you to hear truth without depending on constant reassurance. You may recognize that the season you called empty was preparing your character for something heavier and more meaningful. But even if every explanation does not come, my presence remains enough for the next step. You are not being asked to solve the whole picture. You are being asked to stay with me while it develops. My beloved child, loosen your grip on the need to understand everything tonight. Let the unfinished parts remain unfinished for now. Your story is still moving. The brush has not been set down. The final color has not been placed. What looks incomplete is not necessarily abandoned. What looks delayed is not necessarily denied. What looks broken may still become part of something honest, wise, and useful. Keep your heart open. Keep your eyes on what is true. Keep walking without forcing tomorrow to explain itself before it arrives. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will teach you how to keep asking, seeking, and knocking without turning persistence into panic, and how to continue moving faithfully while trusting me to decide which doors should open and which ones should remain closed. My beloved child, keep asking, seeking, and knocking without letting fear turn persistence into pressure. You have sometimes believed that if an answer did not come quickly, you needed to pray harder, move faster, or force another door. But I am not asking you to live in panic. I am teaching you faithful persistence. Persistence does not demand that every door open. It keeps your heart turned toward truth while allowing me to guide the result. My beloved child, asking begins with honesty. Tell me what you desire. Tell me what you fear. Tell me where you feel confused. Do not hide behind words you think sound spiritual. If you want clarity, ask for clarity. If you need help, ask for help. If your heart is tired, say so. I already know, but honesty changes how you carry the burden. It moves the request from endless worry into relationship. My beloved child, asking also means remaining willing to receive an answer that looks different from what you imagined. You may ask for an open door, and I may give you the courage to walk away from one that has kept you trapped. You may ask for restoration, and I may begin by restoring your peace. You may ask for success, and I may first teach you patience, discipline, and wisdom. You may ask for pain to disappear, and I may send support for healing one day at a time. Do not reject my answer because it does not arrive in the form you rehearsed. Seeking goes deeper. Seeking means you do not ask only for relief. You ask for truth. You ask what this season is revealing. You ask what must change within you. You ask which voice is guiding your choices. You ask whether the path you desire will help you become more honest, peaceful, and faithful. My beloved child, many people seek only confirmation. They want me to approve what fear, pride, or loneliness has already chosen. But true seeking remains teachable. It says, show me what I do not want to see. Correct me where I have been careless. Close what would harm me. Open what will help me grow. This prayer requires courage and brings freedom. You no longer have to convince yourself that every desire is direction. You can place the desire before me and let truth examine it. My beloved child, knocking means taking the practical step available to you. Prayer is not an excuse to avoid action. If you need work, prepare, apply, learn, and ask for guidance. If a relationship needs an honest conversation, speak with kindness and clarity. If your health needs attention, seek care. If you need support, contact someone trustworthy. If you made a mistake, apologize. and repair what you can. Knocking is not standing before a door while refusing to lift your hand. It is faithful movement without demanding control over what happens next. Jesus taught that those who ask receive, those who seek find, and those who knock encounter an opened way. But my beloved child, this promise was never permission to treat me like a machine that must produce whatever you request. It was an invitation to remain in relationship, keep coming closer, keep listening carefully, keep trusting, keep walking. The answer may be yes, no, wait, or something wiser than you can understand right now. A closed door is still an answer. A delay is still information. A redirection can be mercy. My beloved child, you have sometimes stood before the same door long after peace left. You kept knocking because you believed persistence would eventually make the wrong place become right. You ignored the damage. You ignored the repeated lack of honesty. You ignored the way your spirit became smaller each time you returned. Persistence is not refusing every boundary. There are moments when faith keeps knocking. There are also moments when faith accepts that I am leading elsewhere. Wisdom notices the difference. Ask yourself what the door is producing in you. Does it make you more truthful, patient, and responsible? Or does it make you anxious, dishonest, obsessed, and willing to abandon your dignity? My beloved child, the fruit matters. I will never ask you to call confusion peace simply because you want the outcome. I will never require you to ignore harm in order to prove faith. You can remain hopeful and still recognize reality. You can pray for someone and still keep a necessary boundary. You can believe in restoration without forcing access. You can release a closed door without calling your prayers wasted. The widow who kept bringing her request before the judge showed perseverance. She did not stop believing that justice mattered, but notice what she sought. She sought what was right. My beloved child, let your persistence be tied to truth, not attachment. Keep seeking justice, healing, wisdom, reconciliation, provision, and peace. But release the demand that these things must arrive through one person, one job, one place, or one exact plan. I have more than one way to care for you. Your future is not trapped behind a single door. This is why you can knock without panic. If the door is right, you do not need manipulation to open it. If the door remains closed, you do not need to destroy yourself beside it. You can step back. You can listen again. You can notice another path. My beloved child, persistence also means continuing during ordinary days. Not every faithful step feels powerful. Sometimes seeking looks like reading one page slowly. Sometimes asking looks like one honest sentence. Sometimes knocking looks like sending one application, attending one appointment, or beginning one difficult conversation. Small actions can carry deep faith. Do not wait for a perfect feeling. Courage often comes after the first step, not before it. You may still feel uncertain. Move with the light you have. You may still feel tired. Take the step that belongs to today, then rest. You may still fear rejection. Speak honestly without making another person's response the measure of your worth. My beloved child, do not compare your door with someone else's. Another person may receive quickly what you have waited years to see. Their timing is not evidence against my care for you. You do not know what their path required, and they do not know the full work happening in yours. Keep your attention on the door I have placed before you. Some doors open into opportunity. Some open into healing. Some open into difficult truth. Some remain closed because what lies beyond them cannot support your peace. Trust me with the difference. And when resistance comes, do not assume you chose wrongly. A right path can still require effort. Truth can still be opposed. Growth can make old patterns uncomfortable. My beloved child, persistence is not the absence of resistance. It is the refusal to let resistance decide who you become. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you how to stand when opposition rises, why some voices try to shrink what I am growing in you, and how to keep moving without wasting your strength on proving yourself to everyone. My beloved child, do not let opposition shrink what I am growing in you. You have begun to move differently. You are setting boundaries where fear once made you silent. You are choosing peace where chaos once felt familiar. You are taking steps that some people do not understand. Growth changes relationships. When you stop agreeing with old patterns, people who benefited from those patterns may become uncomfortable. They may call your healing selfish. They may call your caution pride. They may say you have changed, as though change itself were a betrayal. My beloved child, listen carefully. Not everyone who questions your growth is your enemy. Some people may be confused. Some may offer correction that is honest and useful. Remain humble enough to listen. But do not surrender the work I am doing in you simply because another person prefers who you used to be. You are not required to return to weakness so someone else can remain comfortable. Opposition often becomes loud when change becomes visible. While your growth was hidden, few people noticed. Now they see you saying no. They see you making careful choices. They see you refusing to chase approval. They see you walking toward responsibilities, relationships, and opportunities that once frightened you. This can awaken comparison in people who have not faced their own fear. My beloved child, their reaction is not always a true measure of your direction. Do not let every opinion become instruction. Bring the words to me. Ask whether there is truth inside them. If there is truth, receive it without shame. If the words are only designed to make you doubt, release them without hatred. You do not need to argue with every voice that misunderstands you. A tree does not stop growing because someone complains about the shade. It keeps reaching toward the light. My beloved child, continue reaching toward truth. There will be moments when people question your motives. They may say your progress is luck. They may minimize the work that happened in private. They did not see the mornings when you kept going without encouragement. They did not hear the prayers you whispered when confidence was weak. They did not carry the discipline required to change one habit at a time. Do not become bitter because they did not witness the process. You do not need their full understanding in order for your growth to be real. Nehemiah faced people who mocked the wall he was rebuilding. They tried to distract him, frighten him, and pull him away from the work. He did not answer every accusation with a long defense. He returned to the assignment. My beloved child, there are moments when your clearest answer is continued faithfulness. Complete the work, keep the promise, honor the boundary, treat people with respect. Let your character speak over time. You may feel a strong desire to prove yourself. You want the person who doubted you to admit they were wrong. You want the family member who dismissed your dream to see your success. You want those who judged your past to recognize how much you have changed. My beloved child, that desire is understandable, but it can become another chain. If your peace depends on their recognition, they still control part of your life. You may reach the goal and remain restless because the apology never comes. You may accomplish what they said was impossible and still feel empty because they refuse to celebrate you. Release the need to make anyone speechless. Live truthfully, because truth is right, not because you are preparing a performance for your critics. Your life does not need to become revenge. Let it become fruit. Fruit does not shout at the branches that failed to believe in spring. It simply appears in its season. My beloved child, protect your attention. Opposition often wins by distraction before it ever wins by force. One cruel comment can occupy your thoughts for days. One doubtful person can make you forget 10 people who have supported you. One setback can make you question years of growth. Do not give temporary noise permanent space inside your mind. Notice what happened. Learn what is useful. Then return to the road. You need your strength for the work ahead. Do not spend it trying to convince people who have already decided not to understand. My beloved child, standing firm does not mean becoming harsh. You can be clear without becoming cruel. You can refuse disrespect without insulting the person. You can leave an unhealthy conversation without needing the final word. You can protect your peace without celebrating another person's failure. Do not let opposition shape you into the same spirit that wounded you. The goal is not only to survive resistance, the goal is to remain honest, compassionate, and grounded while you move through it. David was dismissed by his own brother before he faced Goliath. His courage was questioned. His motives were judged. But he did not allow a familiar voice to decide whether he would step forward. My beloved child, sometimes opposition comes from people close enough to know your history, but not close enough to understand your calling. They remember your mistakes. They remember when you were uncertain. They may struggle to accept that you have grown beyond the role they assigned you. But do not ask them for permission to obey what truth is showing you. You must also recognize the opposition that comes from within, the voice that says, "You will fail again," the memory that tells you not to try, the shame that says you are pretending to be stronger than you are. the comparison that says someone else is already too far ahead. My beloved child, inner opposition can sound like your own voice because you have heard it for so long. Answer it with truth. You are allowed to begin before you feel completely ready. You are allowed to learn while moving. You are allowed to grow at a pace that does not impress anyone. You are allowed to become stronger without denying that some days remain difficult. Do not make perfection the price of progress. You will stumble. You will need correction. You may have to begin again. None of that means the growth is false. A river reaches the sea by continuing around obstacles, not by traveling in a perfectly straight line. My beloved child, keep moving. Some resistance will strengthen your commitment. Some closed doors will redirect you. Some voices will reveal that you have been seeking approval from the wrong places. Let every challenge bring you back to discernment. Ask what is mine to learn. Ask what is mine to release. Ask where I am leading now. You do not need to fight everyone. You need to remain faithful. And while you remain faithful, do not compare your speed with another person's journey. Opposition often uses comparison to make steady progress feel small. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why your timeline is not behind, why another person's early harvest does not cancel your season, and how to keep growing without measuring your life against someone else's clock. My beloved child, your timeline is not behind. You have looked at other lives and wondered why their doors opened sooner. You have watched people celebrate answers you are still praying for. But another person's season does not measure your worth. Their harvest does not mean your field has been forgotten. Their timing is not evidence that I have overlooked you. My beloved child, comparison takes one visible moment from another life and uses it to judge the hidden journey inside your own. You see the announcement. You do not see the years of fear, sacrifice, confusion, discipline, and waiting that came before it. You see the wedding, the promotion, the healed relationship, the new home, or the answered prayer. You do not see every private cost, and they do not see yours. My beloved child, think of two trees growing in the same garden. They receive the same rain and stand beneath the same sky, yet they do not bloom on the same morning. One opens early. The other spends longer strengthening its roots. Each responds to the season built into its own design. You are not failing because your life does not resemble another person's schedule. I did not create you as a copy. Your path can, a blessing, an opportunity entered before wisdom grows can pull you away from peace. A relationship begun before wounds are faced can repeat pain in a new form. My beloved child, I am not withholding good because I enjoy making you wait. I care about what the good thing will do inside you after it arrives. You ask when the door will open. I also ask whether your heart can remain grounded once it does. You ask when your work will be recognized. I ask whether recognition will control your identity. You ask when love will come. I ask whether you have learned to receive love without abandoning yourself. Preparation is not punishment. It is protection. Consider Abraham, who received a promise long before he saw its fulfillment. Waiting exposed impatience, fear, and the temptation to create an answer through human control. The promise had not disappeared, but the people carrying it still had lessons to learn. My beloved child, waiting often reveals what receiving would otherwise hide. It shows where you still need approval. It shows where fear makes you rush. It shows whether you trust my character only when visible progress is present. It shows whether you can remain faithful in ordinary days. Do not despise ordinary days. A farmer does not plant seed and accuse the field the next morning. He waters, he watches. He removes what could choke the growth. He understands that visible fruit has a hidden schedule. My beloved child, your ordinary days are part of the answer. The quiet work matters, the skill you are learning, the habit you are changing, the money you are managing more wisely, the conversation you are finally willing to have, the rest you are learning to receive without guilt. These things may not look like arrival, but they are building the person who can live there. You have also compared yourself with the timeline you imagined years ago. You thought life would look different by now. You created an age, a date, or a season by which certain things were supposed to happen. Then life moved differently. Loss interrupted the plan. Responsibility changed your direction. A relationship ended. Health required attention. An opportunity disappeared. My beloved child, grief over the life you imagined is real. You are allowed to acknowledge it. But do not turn an old expectation into a sentence over the life still unfolding. The person who created that timeline did not know everything you know now. They had not survived what you survived. They had not learned what pain later taught you. They had not yet discovered which dreams were truly yours and which ones came from pressure comparison or the need to prove yourself. You are not late to a life that is still being revealed. Some dreams may need to be released. Others may return in a wiser form. Some may begin later than expected and still become meaningful. My beloved child, purpose does not expire because a calendar changed. Moses was not young when he returned to Egypt. Elizabeth carried hope through years when others may have assumed the story was finished. Anna served faithfully through a long season before seeing what she had waited to witness. Time did not erase their usefulness. Delay did not cancel my presence. Your age, your past, and your slow beginning do not place you outside my ability to work. Do not call yourself too late while I am still speaking. My beloved child, comparison also steals gratitude from what is already growing. You become so focused on what has not arrived that you stop noticing how much has changed. You handle situations now that once overwhelmed you. You recognize patterns that once controlled you. You recover from disappointment more honestly. You ask for help sooner. You are learning to choose peace without explaining yourself to everyone. Do not ignore inner growth because it cannot be photographed or announced. The life you want must be supported by the life within you. My beloved child, release the pressure to catch up. There is no single race that every person is running. You are not competing for a limited amount of love, purpose, opportunity, or goodness. Another person's light does not make yours less necessary. You also have a place. Remain faithful there today. Let another person's success become evidence that growth is possible, not evidence that you have failed. Bless what is good without using it as a weapon against yourself. Then return your attention to what belongs to you today. What can you learn? What can you repair? What can you begin? What can you release? What faithful step is waiting in front of you? My beloved child, your timeline is not behind. It is being shaped through wisdom, healing, responsibility, and grace. You may not understand every delay, but you do not need to live ashamed of it. Stop apologizing for the pace at which you are becoming whole. Stop treating quiet preparation as empty time. Stop believing that I must copy another person's story to prove that I care for you. I know your road. I know the right weight for your shoulders. I know when a door would bless you and when it would overwhelm what is still healing. Trust me with the pace. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will invite you to come to me exactly as you are without waiting to become less tired, less uncertain, or more worthy. Because the love you need begins before your performance and meets you in this moment. My beloved child, come to me exactly as you are. Do not wait until your thoughts are quieter. Do not wait until your questions disappear. Do not wait until you feel stronger, cleaner, more faithful, or more certain. Come now. Bring the tired part of you. Bring the part that still feels ashamed. Bring the part that wants to believe but is afraid of being disappointed again. My beloved child, I am not asking for a polished version of your heart. I am asking for the one. You have spent too much time believing you must prepare yourself before entering my presence. You thought you needed better words, stronger faith, a calmer mind, or a life with fewer mistakes. But if you wait until everything is in order, you will keep waiting. I already know what is unfinished. I know where fear still lives. I know what you regret. I know the questions you are afraid to ask because you think they sound too angry, too weak, or too confused. Bring them anyway. You cannot surprise me with what I already see. My beloved child, honesty does not push me away. It opens the place where healing can begin. Think of the woman who came to the well carrying a history she could not hide. She expected an ordinary conversation, but I met her at the place where her thirst and her shame had been living together. I did not ask her to rewrite her past before speaking with me. I told the truth. I offered living water. I gave her a future larger than the labels she had carried. My beloved child, I meet you the same way. I do not ignore what is broken. I do not flatter you with empty words, but I also do not reduce you to what happened. You are more than the worst decision you made. You are more than the relationship that failed. You are more than the season when you lost direction. You are more than the opinion of someone who never understood the whole story. Come to me with the whole truth. Tell me where you are angry. Tell me where you feel abandoned. Tell me where you have become tired of hoping. Tell me where you want an answer, but fear what the answer may require. Prayer does not need to sound impressive. Sometimes prayer is only help me. Sometimes it is I do not understand. Sometimes it is silence with tears. Sometimes it is a deep breath taken before you make another fearful choice. My beloved child, I hear all of it. I hear the sentence you cannot finish. I hear the question hidden beneath the question. I hear the grief that appears as irritation because you have not felt safe enough to name it. You do not need to perform strength for me. I know the difference between courage and pretending. Courage can tremble. Courage can cry. Courage can ask for help. Courage can admit that the road has become too heavy to walk alone. My beloved child, come with your doubt too. Doubt is not always rebellion. Sometimes doubt is pain trying to understand. Sometimes it is the heart asking whether it is safe to trust after being disappointed. Bring that doubt into my light instead of hiding it in shame. Thomas had questions after loss and confusion. I did not cast him away for needing to see. I met him. I invited him closer. My beloved child, I will meet you in the place where your faith feels unfinished. But come honestly. Do not use doubt as a wall that keeps every answer outside. Do not let pain become a permanent excuse to refuse truth. Let questions become a doorway, not a prison. Come with your tired body. You have sometimes treated your physical limits as spiritual failure. You pushed through exhaustion and called it commitment. You ignored warning signs because other people still needed you. You believed rest could wait until every responsibility was finished. My beloved child, your body is not an enemy to overcome. It is part of the life I entrusted to you. Eat what strengthens you. Sleep without calling yourself lazy. Come to me through practical care as well as prayer. Do not make my help smaller by deciding it can arrive through only one form. My beloved child, come with your unmet desires. You do not need to pretend you no longer want love, stability, healing, work, purpose, companionship, or relief. Desire itself is not shameful. But bring your desires to me before they become masters. Let me examine them. Let me show you which ones are rooted in truth and which ones have become attempts to prove your worth. Sometimes you want the right thing for the wrong reason. You want success because you are tired of feeling overlooked. You want a relationship because loneliness has convinced you that any connection is better than none. You want an answer because uncertainty feels like rejection. My beloved child, I am not condemning the desire. I am freeing it from fear. When desire is no longer carrying the burden of your identity, you can receive with gratitude and release with wisdom. Come with what you cannot fix. You have replayed certain problems as though enough thinking could produce control. You have tried to solve another person's heart. You have tried to predict the future. You have tried to hold together what requires more than your effort. Set it down, not because it does not matter, because it matters too much to be carried only by anxious hands. My beloved child, coming to me does not mean becoming passive. After you pray, there may still be a call to make a boundary, to set a truth to speak, or a responsibility to complete. But action taken from peace is different from action driven by panic. Peace does not need to control every response. Peace does not manipulate. Peace can do what is right and leave the outcome with me. Come as you are, but do not believe you must remain exactly as you came. My love receives you without demanding performance yet. My love also invites you into freedom. I will comfort you and I will correct you. I will hold you and I will teach you to stand. I will forgive you and I will show you how to stop returning to what keeps wounding your life. My beloved child, grace is not permission to remain trapped. Grace is the open door through which transformation begins. You do not clean yourself before entering the water. You enter because you need to be washed. You do not wait to become well before seeking care. You come because healing is needed. So come now, come tired, come uncertain, come hopeful, come with the truth. There is room for all of you in my presence. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why you never had to earn. My love, why your worth existed before your performance, and how receiving that truth can finally quiet the exhausting need to prove that you deserve to be held. My beloved child, you never had to earn my love. Before you completed anything, before anyone applauded you, before you learned how to appear strong, I already knew you. I knew your name. I knew the shape of your heart. I knew the questions you would carry. the mistakes you would make, the wounds you would hide, and the courage you would need to keep moving. My beloved child, my love did not begin after your best day. It did not disappear after your worst one. You have spent years trying to deserve what was never offered as a reward. You worked harder. You stayed useful. You helped people, even when you were empty. You tried to be easy to love. You hid your needs because you feared they would become too much for someone else. You believed that if you were kind enough, productive enough, patient enough, or faithful enough, then you would finally feel secure. But love built on performance never feels secure. The moment you slow down, fear asks whether you are still valuable. The moment you fail, shame says everything good has been canceled. The moment someone becomes disappointed, you begin searching for a way to prove yourself again. My beloved child, this is not the freedom I created you to live in. You are not an employee trying to keep your place in my heart. You are my child. A child does not begin life by presenting achievements. A child arrives with empty hands. The love comes first. Care comes first. The name comes first. Belonging comes before performance. Think of a father holding a newborn child. The child has not earned anything. The child cannot explain gratitude, complete a task, or promise future success. Yet the father does not ask for proof before drawing the child close. My beloved child, you have been loved with a deeper love than that. You do not need to become impressive before I receive you. You do not need to hide the parts of yourself that still need healing. You do not need to promise that you will never struggle again. Come honestly. Come with the unfinished places. Come with the habits you are still learning to change. Come with the fear that says you may disappoint me. I already know the whole truth, and I am still calling you near. My beloved child, there is a difference between love and approval of every choice. I love you completely, but my love does not pretend harmful choices are harmless. Because I love you, I correct what is destroying peace. Because I love you, I expose what shame wants to hide. Because I love you, I call you away from patterns that keep wounding you and the people around you. Correction is not the withdrawal of love. It is one expression of love. A good parent does not ignore danger because the child may feel uncomfortable. Love protects. Love teaches. Love guides. Love tells the truth without turning the truth into humiliation. My beloved child, when I show you something that must change, do not hear the voice of rejection. Hear the invitation to freedom. You are not being corrected because you are unwanted. You are being corrected because your life is valuable. Peter made promises he could not keep. He spoke confidently, then failed when fear became strong. Afterward, shame could have convinced him that his calling was over, but I met him again. I did not pretend the denial never happened. I asked him to face love, responsibility, and truth. Then I entrusted work to him again. My beloved child, failure did not make Peter worthless. It revealed where he needed grace, humility, and growth. Your failures can become places of learning too. They do not need to become permanent names. You may have hurt someone. Take responsibility. You may have ignored wisdom. Learn from it. You may have returned to an old pattern after promising yourself you were finished. Begin again with honesty. My love is not permission to avoid responsibility. It is the safe ground from which responsibility can finally become possible. Shame says, hide, because you failed. Love says, come into the light so you can heal. Shame says, punish yourself until you feel worthy. Love says, receive mercy, make amends, and walk differently. My beloved child, stop confusing self-hatred with repentance. Hating yourself does not repair the past. It only keeps you trapped inside it. Repentance turns your face toward truth. It changes direction. It accepts correction. It asks what can be repaired. Then it keeps walking. You are allowed to keep walking. You are allowed to receive a new morning without dragging every old accusation into it. You are allowed to rest without proving that you have suffered enough. My beloved child, you have also tried to earn love from people. You overgave. You remained available when you needed rest. You accepted unclear treatment because you feared that asking for more would make them leave. You became useful, so they would keep choosing you. But being needed is not the same as being loved. A person may depend on what you provide while never learning to honor who you are. My beloved child, I am teaching you to recognize the difference. Healthy love does not require you to disappear. It does not ask you to silence every need. It does not become warm only when you are convenient. It does not punish you for having boundaries. The love I want you to receive through others will carry respect, honesty, and shared responsibility. You will not need to buy your place through exhaustion. My beloved child, let my love become the foundation from which you choose relationships. When you know you are already loved, you no longer have to accept every invitation. You no longer have to chase people who remain unclear. You no longer have to remain where dignity is repeatedly damaged. You can forgive and still step back. You can care and still say no. You can love someone without making their approval the source of your identity. This is not pride, it is freedom. My beloved child, receive this slowly. You are loved when you are productive. You are loved when you need rest. You are loved when your faith feels strong. You are loved when all you can offer is one tired prayer. You are loved when you understand the path. You are loved when you are still asking why. Nothing about your current season has made me change my mind about you. Not the delay, not the loss, not the mistake, not the silence. My love is not waiting for winter to end before it reaches you. It is present beneath the frozen ground, protecting roots you cannot see. You do not need visible blossoms to prove that life remains. My care is already working where your eyes cannot yet follow or understand fully. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why winter is not the end of your story, what is still living beneath the surface, and how a season that appears empty can quietly prepare the beginning of spring. My beloved child, winter is not the end of your story. You may look around and see little movement. The branches seem bare, the ground feels hard, the days can appear quiet and longer than you expected. But what looks empty is not always dead. Winter protects what is still alive. Roots continue holding beneath the surface. Sap still moves through the tree even when no leaves announce it. The life is hidden, not gone. My beloved child, this is what I want you to understand about your present season. You may not see the fruit yet. You may not hear the answer yet. You may not feel the excitement you once expected, but I am still working where your eyes cannot follow. Some parts of you are resting. Some parts are healing. Some parts are being strengthened in secret. Winter gives the tree permission to stop producing for a time. It does not demand blossoms every morning. It does not accuse the branches for being bare. My beloved child, you also need seasons when you are not measured by what you produce. You have treated rest as though it were failure. You have believed that every quiet day means you are falling behind. You have pushed yourself to show visible progress because you feared that stillness would make people forget you. But I have not forgotten you. Your value does not disappear when your pace becomes slower. Your purpose does not expire when your strength needs renewal. I am not disappointed by the season your heart is in. I know what winter is doing. It is removing noise. It is conserving strength. It is allowing damaged places to mend without the pressure of constant performance. My beloved child, not every season is meant for visible growth. There are times for planting. There are times for building. There are times for gathering. And there are times when wisdom says, become still and let what has been planted settle deeply. You often want spring while your roots are learning how to hold. You ask for new responsibility while your body is asking for rest. You ask for another door while your heart has not finished grieving the one that closed. I am not punishing you by slowing the pace. I am caring for what must survive the next season. Think of Naomi returning home after loss. She believed her life had become empty. She could not yet see the quiet loyalty walking beside her, or the new chapter that would grow from fields she had not entered. Her grief was real. The future was also real. My beloved child, both truths can exist together. You can mourn what ended and still believe that goodness has not ended. You can feel tired and still be guided. You can admit that this season is difficult without declaring that your whole life is hopeless. Winter becomes dangerous only when you mistake it for forever. Do not make permanent decisions from temporary coldness. Do not close your heart because one season did not bloom. Do not assume that silence means I have withdrawn. My beloved child, I am often closest in ways that are difficult to measure. I am in the strength that helps you rise after a restless night. I am in the friend who listens without trying to fix everything. I am in the wisdom that tells you to stop before exhaustion becomes harm. I am in the small desire to pray when most of you feels numb. Do not overlook quiet grace, because you are waiting for a dramatic change. The warmth you need may begin as one small mercy, one clear thought, one honest conversation, one night of better rest, one boundary that protects your energy, one decision not to return to what repeatedly wounds you. Spring often begins before the landscape looks different. My beloved child, there are signs of life already appearing in you. You are becoming less willing to betray your peace. You are recognizing where fear has been speaking. You are learning to ask for help sooner. You are no longer calling every delay rejection. These changes may not look like blossoms, but they are evidence that the roots are alive. You are also learning not to carry tomorrow with today's strength. This lesson matters. You imagine future conversations, future bills, future losses, and future decisions, then try to solve them with the energy available now. Of course, the burden feels impossible. You were never given strength for every future day at once. You receive what is needed when the day arrives. My beloved child, manna did not fall for an entire lifetime in one morning. It came daily. Enough for the day. This is how I want you to live through winter. Receive today's mercy. Use today's strength. Complete today's responsibility. Then let tomorrow remain with me. You do not need to know how you will handle every challenge ahead. You only need to know that I will not meet you tomorrow with empty hands. My beloved child, let winter teach you patience without making you passive. Rest does not mean neglecting what can be done. You can prepare quietly, learn the skill, save what you can. Repair the relationship that is safe to repair. Attend the appointment. Organize the next step. Speak with someone wise. Small preparation is still movement. A gardener does not shout at frozen soil. The gardener sharpens tools, plans carefully, protects what can be protected, and waits for the right time to plant again. My beloved child, use this season wisely. Do not rush the ground. Do not force fruit before the branch can carry it. Do not return to old habits simply because quietness feels unfamiliar. Stay with the work that is happening inside you. There may be days when hope feels weak. On those days, do not demand a strong feeling from yourself. Choose one faithful action. Open the curtain. Drink water. Take the walk. Answer the message. Read one passage slowly. Tell someone the truth about how you are doing. My beloved child, small actions can keep the heart open while deeper healing continues. You do not need to feel powerful to remain faithful. A candle does not become useless because its flame is small. In a dark room, a small flame still changes what can be seen. Let your hope be small if that is all you can carry today. I will not shame it. I will protect it. I will breathe gently upon it until it grows. My beloved child, your winter has not erased your future. The dream may need a new form. The path may need a different direction. The person you are becoming may no longer fit the plan you once made. That is not failure. It is growth becoming honest. When spring comes, you may discover that what rises is wiser than what you first planted. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will teach you why today can be enough, how one breath and one faithful step can carry you forward, and why you do not need to solve your entire life before allowing your heart to rest. My beloved child, let today be enough. You do not have to solve your life before the sun goes down. You do not have to answer every question, repair every relationship, complete every task, and prepare for every problem before you are allowed to rest. Today has its own weight. Do not add tomorrow to it. My beloved child, you have spent many days trying to live several days at once. Your body remained in the present, but your mind ran ahead. You imagined conversations that had not happened. You prepared for losses that had not come. You carried responsibilities that might never belong to you. Then you wondered why your strength disappeared so quickly. Come back to this moment. Take one breath. Feel where you are sitting. Notice what is required now, not next month, not next year, not after every uncertainty is removed. What belongs to this day, my beloved child, one faithful step is enough for now. You may need to make one phone call. You may need to finish one task. You may need to apologize. You may need to drink water, eat something nourishing, and let your tired body recover. You may need to say no to one request because your strength has already been spent. Do the next thing, then pause. You do not need to earn the right to pause by reaching the end of an endless list. Rest is not a reward for becoming useful enough. It is part of how I keep you able to live, love, think, and serve with a clear heart. My beloved child, even I taught my disciples to step away from the crowd and rest. The needs around them were still real. People were still waiting. The work was not finished. Yet exhaustion was not treated as a sign of greater faith. They were invited to come away for a while. I am inviting you too, not to abandon what matters, to return with a spirit that is no longer running on fear. There is a difference between faithful effort and anxious striving. Faithful effort knows what belongs to today. Anxious striving believes everything will collapse if you stop. Faithful effort can complete a task and release the result. Anxious striving keeps checking, revising, and worrying long after your part is done. My beloved child, you are learning that you are not the one holding the whole world together. I am. You can sleep. You can stop thinking for a while. You can leave an unanswered message until your heart becomes calm enough to respond wisely. You can admit that one decision needs more time. Delay is not always avoidance. Sometimes delay protects you from acting while fear is speaking. Let today be enough. This does not mean you become careless. It means you stop demanding more from yourself than truth requires. Perhaps today was difficult. Perhaps you did not accomplish what you planned. Perhaps your energy was lower than expected. Do not turn one difficult day into a judgment about your entire character. A tired day does not make you lazy. A distracted day does not erase your growth. A mistake today does not mean you have returned to the beginning. My beloved child, speak to yourself with the same patience you would offer someone you love. You are still learning. You are still healing. You are still becoming. Growth is not proven by never struggling again. It is shown by how you respond when struggle returns. Do you hide or do you ask for help? Do you punish yourself or do you tell the truth? Do you abandon every healthy habit or do you begin again with one small action? My beloved child, beginning again is not failure. Sometimes it is the most faithful thing you can do. The Israelites received manna one day at a time. They could not store enough to control the future. They had to receive daily provision. This rhythm taught trust. In the same way, I am teaching you to receive daily strength. You do not have tomorrow's strength because tomorrow is not here. When it comes, I will meet you there. Stop trying to carry a future day with a present body. It will always feel too heavy. Today you have enough grace for the step in front of you. Use it there. My beloved child, let this moment become smaller and simpler. What can be released? What can wait? What can be shared with someone trustworthy? What can be completed without perfection? What can be placed into my hands because it was never yours to control? You do not need to hold every concern in your mind, so I will remember it. I do not forget. Write it down if your thoughts are crowded. Pray one honest sentence. Then allow your mind to rest. My beloved child, your body has been speaking to you. The tight shoulders, the clenched jaw, the shallow breathing, the tired eyes, the restlessness, even when the room is quiet. Do not treat these signals as enemies. They may be telling you that you have carried too much for too long. Listen with compassion. Loosen your hands, lower your shoulders, unclench your jaw. Breathe slowly. You are safe in this moment. You do not need to prepare for every danger at once. My beloved child, rest can also mean stepping away from the need to please everyone. There will always be another request, another expectation. Another person who believes their urgency should become your responsibility. You cannot answer every need without losing the ability to hear your own heart. A healthy no can protect a faithful yes. When you say no to what drains you without purpose, you preserve strength for what I have truly asked you to carry. This is not selfishness, it is stewardship. You are caring for the life I entrusted to you. My beloved child today can hold joy too. Do not postpone every good feeling until all problems disappear. You may still laugh while healing. You may enjoy a meal while waiting for an answer. You may step outside and feel the air while grief is still present. Joy does not disrespect pain. It reminds pain that it does not own every room in your life. Receive small goodness without guilt. A warm drink, a kind message, a quiet song, a moment of sunlight. These things are not solutions to every problem. They are reminders that life is still offering mercy. My beloved child, let today be enough. You have done what you could. Where you failed, learn. Where you became tired, rest. Where you need help, ask. Where the answer remains hidden, trust me for another night. Tomorrow does not need you yet. This moment does. Stay here with me. Take the next breath. Let your heart become quiet. You are not falling behind by resting. You are learning how to live without abandoning yourself. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why healing often requires rest, honest boundaries, and support from people you can trust, and why allowing others to help you is not weakness, but part of becoming whole. My beloved child, healing often requires more than courage. It requires rest. It requires boundaries. It requires the humility to let honest support reach you. You have spent a long time believing that strength means carrying everything quietly. You learned how to smile while tired, answer while overwhelmed, and keep giving while your own heart was asking for care. My beloved child, I saw every unseen effort. I saw the mornings when you rose before you felt ready. I saw the nights when your mind would not become still. I saw how quickly you offered help to others and how slowly you allowed anyone to help you. You became dependable, but sometimes dependability became a hiding place. As long as you were helping, you did not have to admit how deeply you needed help too. Healing begins when you stop treating your needs like a problem. You are not weak because you are tired. You are not selfish because you need space. You are not a burden because your heart needs to be heard. My beloved child, rest is not the absence of faithfulness. Rest is one way, faithfulness is protected. A field cannot be harvested forever without being restored. Soil that is never allowed to recover becomes thin, even if it once produced abundantly. Your life works the same way. You can pour out love, effort, patience, and attention for a long time, but if nothing replenishes you, what once felt generous can slowly become resentment. I do not want you serving from emptiness. I want you living from connection with me. This is why I invite you to stop before your body forces you to stop. Sleep when you need sleep. Step away from noise. Eat what strengthens you. Take the walk. Keep the appointment. Let your body become part of your healing instead of something you ignore until it breaks down. My beloved child, Elijah once reached a place where fear and exhaustion had become heavier than his ability to think clearly. I did not begin by giving him a long speech. I gave him rest. I gave him food. I let strength return before direction came. Remember this when you feel guilty for needing recovery. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is sleep, breathe, eat, and allow your nervous heart to become calm again. Healing also requires boundaries. A boundary is not a wall built to punish people. It is a clear line that protects what must remain healthy. You have sometimes allowed others to cross your limits because you feared that saying no would make them leave. You accepted demands that drained you. You answered messages when you needed quiet. You returned to conversations that had already become harmful. You kept explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. My beloved child, love does not require endless access. You can care for someone and still say, I cannot continue this conversation today. You can forgive and still decide that trust must be rebuilt slowly. You can wish someone well and still refuse to return to a pattern that repeatedly damages your peace. A boundary does not mean you have stopped loving. Sometimes it means you have finally stopped helping harm continue. Jesus did not answer every demand placed before him. There were moments when he withdrew. There were moments when he spoke clearly. There were moments when he allowed people to walk away because truth was not something he would change to keep them close. My beloved child, learn from that steadiness. You do not need to become harsh. You need to become clear. Clarity says what you can give. Clarity says what you cannot accept. Clarity does not insult, threaten, or manipulate. It simply refuses to pretend that everything is fine when it is not. At first, boundaries may feel uncomfortable because they reveal who respected your heart and who only respected your availability. Some people may become angry. Some may accuse you of changing. Some may use guilt to pull you back into the old role. My beloved child, let their reaction teach you without controlling you. Listen for truth. Correct yourself where correction is needed, but do not abandon a healthy boundary simply because someone dislikes losing easy access to you. Healing also requires honest support. You were never meant to carry every wound alone. There are places where prayer and private reflection must be joined by conversation with someone trustworthy. A wise friend, a counselor, a doctor, a pastor, a family member who listens without making your pain about themselves. My beloved child, asking for support is not proof that I am absent. I often answer through people. When Moses became exhausted, others helped hold his hands. When the paralyzed man could not reach Jesus alone, friends carried him and opened a way through the roof. Their help did not make his faith smaller. It became part of the path toward healing. Let others carry part of the weight when the load becomes too heavy. Tell someone the truth before you reach the point of collapse. Say, I am struggling. Say, I need someone to listen. Say, I do not know what to do next. Honest words create openings where isolation once kept everything closed. My beloved child, choose support carefully. Not everyone deserves access to your deepest wounds. Look for people who keep confidence, respect your choices, and tell the truth without cruelty. Look for those who do not rush your healing or use your vulnerability to feel powerful. Safe support does not control you. It helps you hear yourself and me more clearly. You are also allowed to release relationships that have completed their season. Not every connection must be repaired into closeness. Some can be forgiven from a distance. Some may need a final honest conversation. Some may need silence and space. My beloved child, letting go is not always failure. Sometimes it is the recognition that love cannot be built where responsibility is continually refused. Honor what was real. Learn what the relationship revealed. Then release the belief that you must carry every person into your future. Healing makes room. Do not rush to fill the new space with another obligation. Let it remain open long enough for peace to settle. Healing is not only removing pain, it is recovering the ability to choose what is good without fear. It is learning that your life can contain purpose, friendship, rest, and joy without being ruled by survival. It clears space in your mind, your schedule, your heart, and your life. And when space appears, forgotten desires begin speaking again. Dreams you placed aside may return quietly. Gifts you stopped using may ask for attention. A part of you that only knew how to survive may begin wondering what it would feel like to create, build, serve, and hope again. My beloved child, this is not selfish. It is life returning. Stay close, my beloved child. In the next part, I will show you why your dreams are still alive in the waiting. How delayed does not mean dead, and how the years that seemed empty may have been preparing you to begin with greater wisdom. My beloved child, your dreams are still alive in the waiting. Some became quiet because survival demanded your attention. You had bills to pay, people to care for, wounds to manage, and responsibilities that could not be ignored. The dream did not disappear. It waited while you gathered strength. My beloved child, do not confuse silence with death. A melody can remain unwritten for years and still live inside the one who carries it. A seed can remain beneath the ground through a long season and still respond when warmth returns. A gift can rest unused without losing its purpose. You may have looked at your age, mistakes, finances, health, or the years that passed and decided the opportunity had closed. But time does not have the authority to cancel what I am still breathing upon. Some dreams do need to change. A desire formed in fear may not survive healing. A plan built to impress people may lose its power once you no longer need their approval. A goal that once seemed important may become too small for the person you are becoming. My beloved child, releasing one version of a dream does not mean you have failed. Sometimes I preserve the purpose while changing the form. You may have wanted a certain position, but the deeper calling was to teach. You may have wanted one relationship, but the deeper desire was mutual love and a peaceful home. You may have imagined success in one place, but the gift can serve people through another door. Do not worship the original picture. Stay close to the purpose beneath it. The waiting has been teaching you what the dream could not teach by itself. It taught you patience. It taught you to separate desire from identity. It taught you that achievement cannot heal every wound. It taught you to prepare without needing constant attention. It taught you to continue when no one was watching. My beloved child, these lessons are part of the foundation. Repeated exercises, early mornings, and small corrections prepare you for the opportunity. Your hidden work matters too. The skill you practiced quietly, the discipline you developed after failure, the courage to begin again, the wisdom to ask better questions, the humility to learn from someone else. All of this is preparation. My beloved child, do not wait for perfect conditions before taking one small step. Dreams often return through ordinary actions. Write the first page, make the call, research the course, save a small amount, clear 1 hour from your week, speak with someone who understands the path. You do not need to see the whole staircase before placing your foot on the first step. Faithful beginnings are often small enough to be overlooked. Zechariah was warned not to despise small beginnings because my work does not always arrive in an impressive form. My beloved child, do not shame the small beginning. It can be honest. It can be sustainable. It can grow without demanding that you abandon your health, family, or peace. You once believed progress had to be dramatic to be real. Now you are learning to value consistency. 1 page each day becomes a book. 1 careful choice repeated becomes a new habit. 1 hour of faithful practice can become skill over time. My beloved child, protect the dream from comparison. Someone younger may appear farther ahead. Someone with more resources may move faster. Someone may receive recognition while your work remains unseen. Their path does not reduce the value of yours. A river does not apologize because another river reaches the sea through a shorter route. It follows the land before it and keeps moving. Keep moving in the way available to you. Do not use another person's speed as a reason to stop. Comparison can also make you imitate what was never meant for you. You begin copying their voice-scheduled definition of success and way of measuring worth. My beloved child, learn from others without disappearing inside their path. I did not place your light in the world to become a weaker copy of someone else. Your experiences have given you a language, compassion, and perspective another person cannot reproduce. Use what is yours. The dream may also require support. Ask for advice. Find people who understand the work. Accept practical help without feeling that it makes the achievement less meaningful. Moses needed people beside him. Paul worked with companions. Nehemiah rebuilt with families standing together along the wall. My beloved child, shared work is not lesser work. Wise support can protect a dream from unnecessary exhaustion. But choose carefully. Not everyone should hear the dream while it is still tender. Some people will speak from their own fear. Some will project their disappointments onto your future. Some will demand proof before the first root has formed. Share with people who offer truth without crushing hope. Choose those who respect courage and preparation. My beloved child, the waiting has also taught you not to make the dream your master. A dream is a gift, but it cannot become your God. You must still know who you are if the result changes. You must still rest. You must still love people well. You must still remain honest. Success that requires you to lose your soul is not the answer you seek. Let the dream serve life. Do not sacrifice your whole life to keep the dream alive. There may be moments when progress slows again. Do not panic. Rest can be part of movement. Revision can be part of movement. A closed door can redirect the work without destroying the purpose. My beloved child, remain flexible enough to follow truth. Joseph carried a dream through years that looked unrelated to its fulfillment. Service, injustice, responsibility, and waiting all became part of his preparation. He could not rush the appointed moment, but when the moment arrived, the hidden years had formed the character needed to carry it. You may understand some of your waiting in the same way. The years taught you what quick success could not. They gave you compassion for people who struggle. They made you less impressed by appearances. They taught you to value peace, integrity, and steady character. My beloved child, your dreams are still alive, but they are no longer the desperate dreams of someone trying to prove a life has value. I have not forgotten what I planted within you. They are becoming cleaner, wiser, more peaceful. You can pursue them with open hands. You can work faithfully, and let me guide the outcome. You can celebrate progress without making progress the source of your worth. You can begin again without calling the years behind you empty. Every lesson can travel forward. Every healed place can serve the future. Every quiet season can become part of the strength you bring into the next chapter. Stay close, my beloved child. In the final part, I will gather every truth from this journey and show you how to walk forward knowing you are held, seen, and loved, whether tomorrow brings an open door, another season of preparation, or one simple step into a future you cannot yet fully see. My beloved child, now go forward knowing you are held, seen, and loved. You have walked with me through silence, fear, waiting, healing, correction, rest, and hope. You have faced truths that were difficult to name, You have released burdens that once felt like part of your identity. You have remembered dreams that seemed too distant to touch again. Now I want you to carry one truth above all the others. You are not walking alone. Whatever tomorrow brings, my presence will not change. My beloved child, you do not need the whole road in order to move forward. You need enough light for the next step. A traveler does not wait for the entire night to disappear before beginning the journey. One lamp held close reveals enough ground to keep moving. Let my truth become that lamp. When fear says you are forgotten, remember that I have known every hidden hour. When shame says your past has disqualified, you remember that I have been teaching you how to walk differently. When comparison says you are behind, remember that your life has never been measured by another person's clock. When exhaustion says you must keep proving yourself, remember that rest is part of how I restore you. My beloved child, you are held. You were held when you could feel it. You were held when you could not. You were held in the season when people misunderstood your silence. You were held when one plan ended, and you had no idea what would replace it. You were held when your prayer was only one tired sentence. My care did not depend on your ability to recognize it. I was present before you had language for what you needed. I was near when you assumed distance. I was working beneath the surface while you measured only what could be seen. My beloved child, you are seen. I have seen the effort that received no applause. I have seen the kindness you gave without telling anyone. I have seen the responsibilities you carried while your own heart was hurting. I have seen the courage it took to set a boundary after years of fearing rejection. I have seen you begin again after disappointment. Nothing honest has been hidden from me. The world may notice the flower after it blooms, but I saw every quiet day you watered the soil. I saw you remove what was choking the roots. I saw you wait through seasons when the ground appeared empty. The hidden care mattered too. My beloved child, you are loved. Not because you performed perfectly, not because you never failed, not because everyone understood you. You are loved because you are mine. My love came before your achievements. It remained through your mistakes. It will remain when your strength is low and when your path feels uncertain. This love comforts you, corrects you, protects you, and leads you toward freedom. Let it become the place from which you live. My beloved child, go forward with open hands. Release the need to control every outcome. Do what belongs to you. Speak honestly, work faithfully, rest when you are tired. Ask for help when the burden becomes too heavy. Apologize when you have caused harm. Set boundaries where peace must be protected. Then leave what you cannot control with me. Open hands can receive guidance. Open hands can release what has completed its season. Open hands can welcome a new beginning without gripping it in fear. You do not need to chase every door. You do not need to force every relationship back into place. You do not need to turn every delay into a personal judgment. Some things will return in a healthier form. Some will remain in the past. Some new opportunities will surprise you. Trust me enough to let truth reveal the difference. My beloved child, carry wisdom forward, but do not carry suspicion into every new room. Your healing was not meant to make you hard. It was meant to make you clear. You can remain tender and discerning. You can love without disappearing. You can forgive without removing every boundary. You can hope without demanding one particular answer. This is mature faith. It does not deny pain. It refuses to let pain become the only voice. There will be days when old fear returns. Do not be ashamed. Return to the quiet place. Breathe. Name what is true. Ask what belongs to today. Take one faithful step. You do not need to repeat the whole journey every time you feel uncertain. You already know the way back to peace. My beloved child, let today be enough. Let one act of courage be enough. Let one honest prayer be enough. Let one boundary, one conversation, 1 hour of rest, or one small beginning be enough. You are not required to finish tomorrow before sleeping tonight. I will meet you in the next day with new mercy. Remember the shepherd. I know when you need direction. I know when you need protection. I know when you need to be carried. Remember the roots beneath winter soil. Life can remain active even when nothing visible appears. Remember the potter. Pressure did not mean you were discarded. It meant patient hands were still forming what could carry greater purpose. Remember the river. What I have given you is meant to move through you in kindness, wisdom, courage, and service. Your life is not only about what you receive, it is also about what becomes possible for others because you chose to heal. My beloved child, your story is still being written. Do not fear the blank page. You do not need to fill it with panic. Walk into it with me. There may be joy you did not plan. There may be work that uses gifts you nearly forgot. There may be relationships where honesty feels safe. There may be quiet seasons that deepen rather than delay you. Whatever form the next chapter takes, let it be built on truth. You do not need to prove that the difficult years were worth surviving. Simply live the wisdom they gave you. Let your peace speak. Let your character speak. Let the way you treat people speak. Let your willingness to begin again speak. My beloved child, as this message closes, release your shoulders, unclench your hands. Let the day become quiet around you. You are not the sum of your worst moment. You are not defined by the longest delay. You are not forgotten because the road changed. You are not alone because one person left. You are held, you are seen, you are loved. Carry these words into the conversation ahead, the decision you must make, the evening you must walk through, and the morning that has not yet arrived. I will be there. Go forward in peace. Keep your heart open. Keep your feet grounded in truth. Keep your eyes on the light I place before you. The best part of your story does not need to be forced. Take the next step with me, my beloved child. You have never been forgotten, and you never will be. Through every coming season,